What's up guys, welcome back. This is Anime Crossover. You'll be watching What If Naruto Was in Black Clover with a Sharingan Part 4. Now let's begin. Hey, it's not fair, Yami and Naruto. You two seem to be monopolizing these intriguing adversaries. So, are they truly deserving of being vanquished? Jack inquired, a broad smile adorning his face with his tongue playfully peeking out. No, not at all, Yami and Naruto said simultaneously. They're quite similar to paper. I was just about to complete them when you interrupted, you unpleasant person, Yami remarked from the ground, perched on a heap of rocks. Yeah, right. Look how worn out you are, Jack remarked, addressing Yami and briefly glancing at Naruto. If Yami and Naruto fought the same enemy, why does he appear to be in this state, while Naruto seems unharmed? Jack pondered. How long do you intend to remain seated? You are quite pitiful for an individual of your gender, Charlotte said to Yami in a detached manner. You fool. The ground is giving me so much trouble, it won't release me, Yami said, casually smoking his cigarette. Naruto was already familiar with their interaction. Despite the challenges, he maintained his composure and exercised patience. Observing the concerned expression on her face as she blushed stirred something within him. Resentment. I won't hold back, Noel declared in a professional manner, his gaze fixed on the eye. All right, I'm feeling motivated, Asta exclaimed with enthusiasm, drawing out his swords. Stay out of this, Noel said, causing Asta to flinch. When the leaders are on the battlefield, average fighters will only hinder our progress. That's unfortunate. Nevertheless, I will continue to persevere, Naruto declared, capturing everyone's attention. Vetto regarded him with a level of respect he had only experienced on rare occasions: anxiety. His entire body shut down with one attack. Moreover, Naruto didn't rely on any supernatural powers. He employed only basic kicks. Vetto had a wide grin on his face. If someone could evoke such strong emotions from him after just one encounter, it was clear that he deserved to embrace his full potential. Feeling the freedom to give it his all ignited a fire within him. He was extremely enthusiastic. Who do you think you are defying, a captain? Your existence is becoming a, Noel said before being interrupted. You, Vetto exclaimed, his finger aimed directly at Naruto. May I please know your name? I am Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto stated firmly. Naruto Uzumaki, It has a nice ring to it. Well, Naruto, you mentioned that you would be engaging in combat, right? Vetto inquired, leaving Raya and the captains perplexed as to why the adversary was speaking so casually to Naruto. What's the point? Naruto inquired, feeling a bit annoyed by the barrage of questions. True despair lies at the end of an endless battle. I desire a battle, to the death, Vetto declared, confidently cracking his knuckles. A battle to the death, huh? That doesn't sound too bad, Naruto remarked casually, glancing over at Charlotte. Please ensure that you are paying close attention. Vetto exudes a formidable aura, unleashing the untamed power within him. With a wide smile on his face, his mana continued to increase without any sign of slowing down. The dark orange aura exuded an ominous energy that would unsettle most individuals, but Naruto was far from ordinary. Out of nowhere, a sense of malevolence engulfed the entire cave. Naruto exuded a sinister aura, with shades of dark blue and black. It had been quite some time since Naruto had the opportunity to really let loose. Naruto's body exuded a dark and foreboding aura, filled with a sense of danger. A discerning eye would notice a crimson aura emanating from his body. The intense expression on his face and the fierce gaze in his eyes conveyed a clear message of impending doom for his adversary. What is that? Asta asked, his voice filled with nervousness as his knees trembled. You can sense that? Finral asked, astounded by Asta's ability to detect whatever was emanating from Naruto. I can sense it and observe it, Asta remarked, gazing at the formidable snake that poses an immediate threat if approached too closely. That's not mana, Noel remarked, surprised by the unfamiliar sensation he was experiencing. It's his intense desire for violence and his menacing aura, Yami said casually, puffing on a cigarette. What kind of monster is he? Jack asked while watching Naruto. Vetto, are you certain about this? Do you experience the same sensations as I do? Raya asked, gazing at Naruto with a sense of incredulity. I know, that's the most thrilling part, Vetto exclaimed, his face beaming with joy. Captain Yami, I believe I have regained sufficient mana to facilitate our departure from this location, Finral stated, displaying a contented expression. Oh no, we're not leaving just yet, Yami said, giving Finral a perplexed expression. Whoosh, whoosh, asterisk a loud noise echoed through the room. Both Naruto and Vetto vanished in an instant, converging in the center of the cave, their forearms colliding with tremendous force. They stepped back to create some space. They began to move at an incredibly rapid pace, surpassing the limits of human perception. Only Yami, Asta, Fana, Raya, and perhaps Patoli were able to witness the intense battle. A loud noise echoed through the air. Asterisk, wow, asterisk, with every strike, the sheer force behind each blow created a resounding shockwave. From their vantage point, Naruto and Vetto observed a fierce battle unfolding in the sky. Quite an imbalanced match. Despite all of Vetto's efforts, he was unable to successfully strike Naruto. He was moving at an incredibly rapid pace, making it impossible for him to counter or launch an attack. Naruto continued to deliver punch after punch, showing no signs of relenting. Vetto's face bore the marks of a relentless barrage of punches, with bruises and blood marring his features. As he came to a halt, Naruto swiftly seized Vetto's wrist, effortlessly maneuvered it over his shoulder, and forcefully hurled him down onto the ground. Wow, asterisk, when Vetto hit the ground, it produced a resounding impact and caused a noticeable indentation in the earth. While Naruto was descending, he noticed Vetto getting back on his feet. Naruto observed his surroundings and noticed that Yami was on the verge of executing his plan. He noticed that Nozel, Charlotte, Jack, Raya, or Fana refrained from participating in the battle. Did they have a desire to witness the ongoing battle? The significant dust cloud from Vetto's landing still lingered, and it was at that moment that Yami emerged through a portal in the sky. Patoli's flames vanished as he conjured a sizable orb of light in his hand, directing it towards Yami. Right as Patoli was about to unleash his attack up close, Asta suddenly appeared from the dense cloud, wielding his Demon Slayer's sword. Given Asta's lack of mana and inability to be tracked, it presented him with an ideal chance to make a move. Asta skillfully swung his sword, landing a powerful strike on Patoli. Wow, asterisk, the anti-magic nullified Patoli's attack, positioning him perfectly for Yami to deliver a decisive blow. Yami skillfully wielded his sword, its dark coating adding to his formidable presence. With a subtle movement, he leaned forward, poised to deliver a devastating blow. A loud noise echoed through the room. Asterisk, Patoli crashed into the ground with a resounding impact, causing a cloud of dust to billow up from the sheer force of the attack. Due to Asta's anti-magic, the seal on Patoli was broken. Patoli then started to emit a radiant white glow as he ascended into the sky. Efficiently, Naruto managed to heal Vetto, although not completely, but enough to enable him to seal Patoli. Prior to departing, Naruto exchanged a few words with Vetto. Let's settle our differences decisively the next time we meet. It's important to remember that our encounters may have serious consequences. Vetto carefully considered his words before joining the others to seal Patoli. Patoli proceeded to discuss Asta's grimoire and his sword, informing him that it did not belong to him. Someone appeared to be in a state of distress or concern as they observed the intense concentration of mana emanating from Patoli. Despite being aware of the plan to seal Patoli, Naruto felt compelled to conduct a test. Some time ago, he became highly skilled in the art of sun magic. After he did, he felt a deeper understanding of the magic. It seemed to have become ingrained in his being. He was unsure of the reason behind his newfound sense of accomplishment, but prior to that, it seemed as though the magic was not within his grasp. Naruto focused his attention, closing his eyes. Everyone turned their attention to Naruto as they sensed a powerful surge of mana. He held a vibrant orange ball in his hands, which continued to expand before his eyes. As Naruto focused his energy, the spherical orange ball grew in size and strength. It eventually grew too large for the others to remain in close proximity. The intense heat emitted by the miniature sun is causing discomfort for some, making it difficult to breathe. When Naruto threw the ball, it defied expectations by halting the oncoming light instead of being absorbed by it. The light and the miniature sun were engaged in a competition to determine the ultimate victor. Ultimately, the miniature sun created by Naruto was absorbed by the light. With its power, the eye prevented Patoli from causing further destruction to the surrounding area. Patoli felt a sense of awe as he and the eye gracefully descended into a portal. Prior to departing, Raya took hold of Balto's. "Very well," Asta exclaimed triumphantly after proclaiming their victory. Naruto gave Nozel a stern look for only appearing to be decorative. "What was that, Nozel? I recall you mentioning earlier that I hadn't done anything due to my lack of injuries," Naruto remarked, causing Nozel to clench his teeth. Yami gained Naruto's respect throughout the battle. "Not bad, Captain. I'm just saying, I could have performed even better if you hadn't monopolized all the enemies," Naruto remarked, eliciting laughter from Yami. "You did quite well," Yami said, giving Naruto a reassuring pat on the shoulder. "How disappointing of you two. It's astonishing that those individuals caused you such difficulty," Charlotte remarked, observing Naruto and Yami. "Wow, harsh as always," Yami remarked, causing Naruto to grin. What was the reason behind his smile? It seems that her behavior towards Yami is quite different from how she usually acts. Now that she enlisted Naruto's help, he felt confident that he was making progress. Yuno, Mimosa, and Klaus arrived after the eye got away. There was nothing else to discuss except for the events that unfolded during the attack. Instead of idling around in Nin, Naruto made the decision to return to the hideout. He had some professional matters to attend to. Naruto chose not to fly and instead utilized spatial magic to immediately transport himself to the hideout. Naturally, he brought Sekra along. What could be the reason for his departure from her? Naruto entered the cafeteria and, as usual, spotted Charmy enjoying a meal. The expression in his eyes conveyed everything. Charmy's sheep cooks prepared a grand feast. Both Naruto and Charmy are incredibly efficient, completing it all in less than an hour. After Naruto finished his meal, he decided to indulge in a relaxing bath. While soaking in the bath, he contemplated his expertise in sun magic and the other forms of magic he possessed. Could it be because I copied it? Does the same thing apply to Raya? Can you apply to me? Naruto pondered his thoughts. Raya possessed the ability to replicate any form of magic, yet ultimately fell short against a highly skilled fire manipulator. Why? The magic he replicated wasn't his genuine magic. He utilized someone else's magic to his advantage. So if I don't fully master each element I've copied, will I be defeated by someone who has mastered the magic? Unanswered questions were swirling in Naruto's mind. After approximately 30 minutes, Naruto concluded that he was sufficiently clean and departed from the bath. He dressed in fresh attire and made his way to the royal capital. Naruto was aware that the captain of the Purple Orcus, as well as William and himself, were all involved in the act of betrayal. If he informed Julius about the captain of the Purple Orcus being the traitor, it is highly probable that Julius would request to see the evidence. Although he lacked concrete evidence, those who were incarcerated possessed a wealth of information in their minds. How could he acquire that information without Asta's anti-magic? As Naruto walked through Kika or the Common Realm, people showed their respect by bowing to him for his life-saving actions. It was a novel sensation, and he couldn't deny that earning the admiration of others was a remarkable accomplishment. Naruto proceeded to the location where Julius would be found. Naruto observed Julius as he focused intently on his paperwork. Someone is at the door. Julius glanced upwards and was surprised to see Naruto levitating. Naruto was aware that the windows were not able to open, so he wished to inform Julius of his presence. He preferred not to have to deal with any guards. Julius welcomed Naruto inside, and Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of admiration. When comparing the hideout to the castle, it's clear that the castle was superior. The cleanliness of the place was impeccable, from the fresh scent in the air to the well-maintained furniture and spotless walls. There was no sign of any disorder or untidiness. It was a more favorable choice, but he would always prefer the hideout over the castle. "So, what brings you here?" Julius inquired, perched on the elegant chair as he observed Naruto, who stood before him. "By now, it should be clear that there is a traitor among us," Naruto said, capturing Julius's attention. "Yes, I have. We are currently addressing the issue. Now, what brings you here?" Julius inquired with a hint of suspicion. "Must I respond to that inquiry? We are both aware of the solution," Naruto replied, exhaling in exasperation at Julius's query. "You know who the traitor is. How did you acquire such information? You aren't involved in any treachery, are you?" Julius inquired, fixing a penetrating gaze upon Naruto. You know, I would never betray this lovely kingdom, Naruto said with a hint of sarcasm. If you have any information, feel free to share, Julius said, bracing himself for any name that Naruto might mention. Before I inform you, I have a favor to ask. I would appreciate it if you could refrain from mentioning this until tomorrow, and I would like you to arrange a conference with the captains, Naruto said, causing Julius to let out a sigh. We had intended to have asked to remove the mind barrier on the members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, but it seems you have discovered an alternative method of accessing their memories, Julius remarked, leaning forward with his hands interlocked on the desk. Indeed, Naruto remarked, piquing Julius's curiosity once again. I have to ask, how do you plan on accomplishing it? Julius asked with curiosity. Naruto simply smirked at this question. I have complete faith in your ability to comprehend my skills. However, actions speak louder than words. Instead of delving into your memories, allow me to demonstrate your deepest desires, Naruto stated, his eyes transforming into a striking shade of crimson. Julius and Naruto locked eyes, and he found himself ensnared in Naruto's genjutsu. Naruto discovered that Julius is quite an eccentric individual. He had a strong passion for exploring and uncovering all forms of magic, both known and unknown. Frankly, his fixation was simply a personal preference. Naruto ended his genjutsu, and Julius was brought back to reality. Julius glanced around briefly before turning his gaze towards Naruto, clearly impressed. What an impressive skill! How did you acquire such a remarkable ability? Julius asked, his eyes filled with admiration. God gave it to me, Naruto said, stating the truth. I see, you have a strong belief system. It's always comforting to have faith, Julius said, eliciting a sigh from Naruto. Now, for the main purpose of my presence here, Naruto stated, causing Julius to become highly anxious. The captain of the Purple Orcus, Welder Poizo, Naruto said, causing Julius to be momentarily surprised. Are you certain about this? Julius asked, somewhat unwilling to accept the situation. Would you like me to provide evidence? Can you please take me to the individuals who were captured? I can show you their location. Alternatively, we can wait until tomorrow if you prefer, Naruto said. Julius agreed, challenging him to prove it. Who is this person? An old witch said, looking at Naruto. She said in a professional tone. I don't know, but something feels off, remarked the man with a prominent scar on his face. Wasn't she more youthful during the attack? She's just an elderly woman, Naruto said, with a hint of disdain in his eyes. You little troublemaker. I will key, the old lady declared before falling victim to a powerful genjutsu. The person responsible for casting this mind-altering barrier possessed exceptional skill, but it proved no match for Naruto's abilities. A dark smoke emerged from the hag's head. Naruto swiftly approached Scarface, effortlessly shattering the mental barrier. Hurry up, Marx, Julius instructed, addressing the man with blue hair and a bowl cut. Marx acknowledged with a nod and replied, Memory exchange magic. Memoir absolu, Marx said. A sleek and sophisticated structure materialized above both of their heads. The structure was seamlessly linked to a sphere positioned higher up, which in turn connected to a column featuring 5 perfectly aligned horizontal planes. Marx proceeded to inquire about a number of matters. When the question of identifying the traitor arose, they both simultaneously revealed, the captain of the Purple Orcus, Welder Poizo. It was confirmed that what Naruto said was true. Julius and Marx expressed their gratitude to Naruto. Since you have accomplished this, you and your squad will be rewarded with stars. Is there anything specific that you might desire? Julius inquired, causing Naruto to ponder. Yeah, I could really use some financial assistance. Remember when I generously gave you my entire month's pay, Grandma? So, if you're able to lend me a hand, I would greatly appreciate it, Naruto said, wearing a friendly smile. I wasn't anticipating this. Naruto pondered as he received the substantial pouch of YUL. He bid farewell to Julius and Marx and made his way back to the hideout. He had one final task remaining, Vanessa. Some time ago, he invited her to join him for a drink. Now that he had the opportunity, he could carefully position the stone. He had a well-thought-out strategy. Naruto made a quick stop at the store and purchased multiple bottles. The store clerk gave him a perplexed look. Given his age, was he expected to be drinking? Upon Naruto's arrival at the hideout, locating Vanessa proved to be a straightforward task. he confidently approached her. "Vanessa, would you like to join me for a drink?" Naruto asked, offering 2 wine bottles. "Absolutely," Vanessa replied, heading towards the living room to inspect additional bottles. "Now, would you be interested in playing a game?" Naruto suggested, capturing Vanessa's attention. "What's your game?" Vanessa inquired, prepared to commence imbibing. "The first one to pass out loses, and the loser has to do one favor of the victor. Deal?" Naruto proposed, gazing at Vanessa. "Ha ha ha. You're on, kid," Vanessa said, making Naruto smirk. Special mention to Jean-Pierre Girardeau. He provided valuable assistance with the idea. Tink. After uncorking 2 bottles of wine, they clinked their glasses together to celebrate the game. Now, Naruto had little to no experience when it came to drinking. Was he planning to create a portal in his mouth so that the wine would be expelled externally? If Naruto sought anything, it was a formidable test. He was indifferent to the form he arrived in, as long as it was related to. After consuming the initial bottle, Naruto didn't experience any effects, and Vanessa appeared to be unaffected as well. Within moments, 4 bottles had disappeared. Naruto noticed a blush creeping onto Vanessa's cheeks. "Can you believe how much this woman drinks? She actually gets tipsy from just 2 bottles, Naruto observed, noticing the slightly tired expression on her face. Once again, Naruto and Vanessa indulged in another bottle. Naruto was puzzled by his inability to make it work. Was his alcohol tolerance high? Noticing Vanessa's flushed cheeks, he examined the bottle to check for any issues. What could be the reason for his lack of emotions? He found the flavor reminiscent of grapes. Why does he appear unaffected? We both consumed an equal quantity, so why does he not appear intoxicated? Please refrain from disclosing. I'm sorry, but I can't comply with that request. What is on my mind? Vanessa felt the effects of the alcohol taking hold. Don't assume. You'll come out on top. I'm perfectly okay, Vanessa said with a lack of energy. It was evident that she had consumed alcohol. She appeared unsteady when taking a seat. Vanessa appeared to be reaching her limit, while Naruto was growing increasingly irritated. He was inexperienced when it came to alcohol, and yet, he wasn't feeling a thing. So Naruto, what made you choose to join the Black Bulls? Vanessa asked, occasionally interrupting her words with a burp. People have expressed their opinion that this is the worst Magic Knight squad, and I concur with their assessment. However, in our unique manner, we strive to be the best, Naruto stated. The reason? I believed it was the most suitable path to take considering the Black Bulls' frequent encounters with trouble. Where there is trouble, there are adversaries. My desire was to confront formidable foes and ultimately become the strongest. This is how I choose to embrace freedom, Naruto explained, causing Vanessa to momentarily widen her eyes in astonishment. Free, huh? For a while, I couldn't experience freedom, Vanessa said, her expression turning somber as she reflected on the past. What do you mean? Were you incarcerated? Naruto asked, already aware of the answer. If he desired Vanessa to be his, he needed her to become more vulnerable with him. Oh, forget about it. It's not a big deal, Vanessa said, attempting to steer the conversation in a different direction. Vanessa, we have a strong bond, don't we? If we want to build a future together, I believe it's important for me to understand your past, Naruto said sincerely. From his typically aloof and self-assured demeanor, this was a significant shift. Do you believe in fate? Vanessa asked, gazing into Naruto's deep, mysterious eyes. Fate can go take a hike. Why should I conform to a life predetermined by others instead of embracing my freedom? Naruto remarked, eliciting a smile from Vanessa. Some time ago, my mother confined me within a cage. I demonstrated my thread magic, and she declared that it was my destiny to remain there and enhance my magical abilities to serve her. However, since Yami's invasion of the witches' forest, I have been enjoying a life of freedom, pursuing my own desires. That's why I sought your assistance, Vanessa explained, reflecting on her past with a touch of emotion. If we encounter her, I'll ensure she receives a fitting retribution for the time she took away from you, Naruto remarked, eliciting a smile from Vanessa. Naruto reciprocates the smile, as he found pleasure in witnessing her joyful expression. Why haven't you had anything to drink yet? I hope you didn't tamper with my drink, Vanessa asked, giving Naruto a skeptical look. They looked at each other for a moment and then couldn't help but burst into laughter. After the laughter died down, he had a sudden realization. Out of nowhere, The impact of the 4 bottles of wine he had consumed hit him like a ton of bricks. He encountered a sudden decline in visual clarity and a feeling of imminent instability. Naruto took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and then opened them. "Are you okay?" Vanessa asked, trying to hide her amusement. "I'm doing well," Naruto stated as he reached for another bottle. Vanessa also did the same, and they savored another bottle. They were involved in a spirited discussion, exchanging anecdotes from their past. Naruto shared with Vanessa the heartbreaking event of his teacher's passing, finding comfort in the knowledge that she was his only remaining family. He regarded him as his grandfather, despite their lack of blood relation. Vanessa understood his actions and chose not to judge. They developed a strong bond and enjoyed many bottles together, nurturing a sense of camaraderie. Observing their joyous expressions, they both felt a heartwarming sensation. After about 3 hours, Vanessa started to feel sleepy. They were displaying a sense of professionalism, with empty bottles, flushed faces, and deliberate speech. "Don't tell me you're going to sleep already. I hope you're ready for my request," Naruto said, causing Vanessa to react with disdain. "Who needs sleep? I feel so energized," Vanessa exclaimed, rising from her seat and making her way unsteadily towards Naruto. As a result of her impaired condition, she unintentionally stumbled onto him. They maintained a focused gaze, their faces close together. "Sorry, I unintentionally grabbed the ankle," Vanessa clarified, while she was getting off from Naruto. Before she could walk away, Naruto firmly held her hand, preventing her from moving. "Am I the only one who notices that the image of our hands touching is blurred out?" Vanessa was surprised by the intensity she saw in Naruto's gaze. There was no hint of passion or longing. The atmosphere was filled with a strong aura of expertise and capability. Naruto skillfully guided her back towards him. She ended up falling on top of him. His demeanor, fragrance, and surprisingly flexible muscles were oddly reassuring. His embrace offered a comforting sense of safety. She had a strong inclination to stay there indefinitely. At last, she peacefully fell asleep. "You lost," Naruto whispered quietly as his eyelids grew heavy. Sleep was a matter that demanded utmost attention. Shortly after, Naruto fell asleep with Vanessa snuggled against his chest, his arms securely wrapped around her. Naruto and Vanessa were abruptly awakened by a piercing scream. From the very beginning, Naruto was feeling quite frustrated. If he had known the extent of the headaches that would ensue, he would have still opted to indulge. When he woke up, he saw that Vanessa was still asleep on top of him. He smiled subtly as she stood up. While performing the action, she took a moment to rest her eyes and casually looked at Asta, Noel, Finral, Gauche, and Yami. Noel and Finral looked surprised and envious. Vanessa carefully observed the scene, curious about the unusual appearance of the people involved. However, her attention soon turned to what lay below. She looked down and noticed she was sitting on Naruto's lap. Even part of his shirt was exposed, showcasing his remarkably fit body for someone his age. She also detected something, but decided not to bring it up. "What's with all the noise? I have a headache and you're not making it any better," Vanessa complained, gently massaging her temples as she remained seated on Naruto's lap. "Hey, Naruto, did you and Vanessa have a peaceful night? I don't know much about alcohol, but I've heard it can induce drowsiness," Asta commented, capturing everyone's interest. His mind and soul, filled with a strong sense of professionalism. "Yeah, we're competent," Naruto replied, rising from the couch. "Were you all not involved in any activities?" Noel asked, still surprised. "We slept together. What did you think would happen?" Naruto said, looking at Noel, causing her cheeks to turn red with embarrassment. "Well, you know, when a boy and a girl," Noel said before being interrupted. "You don't need to provide any explanations. There's nothing to worry about. We simply enjoyed a few drinks and then went to sleep," Naruto stated calmly as he made his way to his room. "Hey, let's convene in the cafeteria in 10 minutes, Charmy said, casually peering through the cafeteria doors. "Wait a moment," Noel declared, with a determined expression on her face. If Charmy was present, she must have observed whatever they did. "Noel, are you feeling jealous?" Vanessa said, approaching Noel with a smirk. "What? Why would I feel any envy if you guys only slept together?" Noel exclaimed, turning her head, attempting to hide her embarrassment. "Only, so if we did something else, would it make you jealous?" Vanessa said with a wide grin on her face. No, thank you. I have no interest in your actions or those of that individual, Noel said, storming off angrily towards the cafeteria. Soon after, everyone assembled in the cafeteria. In front of him was a pile of potato pies. It was a moment of celebration, symbolizing Asta's full recuperation. Magna announced it was a competition, emphasizing the importance of skill in such events. Naruto was always ready to take on any challenge that came his way. Naruto struggled to articulate his unquenchable appetite. How long has he been sleeping? Inspecting the food in front of him made his stomach growl. Yami was the judge for the competition. Before starting, Naruto expertly used water magic to moisten the pies, ensuring they wouldn't be too dry. Ready, go, Yami said as Naruto, Asta, and Charmy enthusiastically started devouring their food. Thanks to the water magic, the pies are enhanced and become even more enjoyable to savor. It is crucial to have a worry-free dining experience, free from any concerns about choking. Shortly after, Naruto finished baking his pies. He observed that Charmy and Asta were still savoring their meal. The winner is Charmy, Yami declared, leaving Naruto completely bewildered. He then looked up and observed that all the pieces were still in front of him. He realized that when he sat down, he passed out. In addition, he found that his water magic couldn't reach the pies. Instead, Yami was the one who was affected. Yami casually dismissed it, as if it had been a mere afterthought. An owl arrived through a portal, delivered a letter, and promptly departed. The letter indicated that the Wizard King has requested the presence of Naruto, Asta, and Yami. Naruto was perplexed by Julius's decision to include Asta. He has already exceeded all expectations, and if anyone tried to escape, he had extraordinary magical and combat skills to bring them under control. In spite of his perplexity, he had no desire to challenge it. Standing in front of Marx, Yami introduced him with a light-hearted approach. Asta reluctantly followed along, while Naruto remained indifferent to the other person's name. Naruto, the Wizard King has requested your presence at the conference with the other captains, Marx informed, grabbing the attention of Asta and Yami. Are you being considered for the role of captain, Naruto? Maybe even getting your own squad? Yami inquired, eliciting a spark of excitement and surprise in Asta's eyes. Wow, you're forming your own team? That's absolutely incredible, Asta exclaimed, gazing at Naruto with genuine admiration. He won't be part of the team. Julius has asked me to let him know that he needs to attend the conference with the other captains, Marx stated, clarifying the situation. Can someone please clarify? What is the purpose of this person's presence here? I was under the impression that this meeting was intended for individuals of higher rank, not lower ones, Nozel remarked, casting disapproving looks in Naruto's direction. It's unfortunate that 4 captains failed to prevent the terrorist from escaping, Wilder said, with a self-satisfied expression on his face. Naruto disregarded their comments as he chose to not give them any consideration. After Rill demonstrated his remarkable Fuegolean impression, William entered the room. He observed Naruto, who calmly returned his gaze. There was a palpable tension in the room as doubts started to circulate about William's possible betrayal. Yami was growing increasingly irritated by the prolonged confinement in the room. Then, Marx let them know that they had to relocate. Naruto stayed with the captains, which caused some people to become suspicious. The 8 captains stood before Asta, Marx, Julius, and the 2 individuals who were apprehended. Naruto positioned himself by the door, expecting Hami to start running any moment. Why did you call for us, esteemed Wizard King? William inquired. Are those 2 associated with the Eye of the Midnight Sun? Did you learn anything from them? Charlotte asked with interest. Certainly, I have acquired some valuable insights from Naruto, Marx, and Asta. However, this specific revelation is of utmost importance. I have noticed that there is someone among us who is collaborating with the Eye of the Midnight Sun, Julius declared, causing a variety of reactions from those in attendance, expressions filled with surprise, apprehension, and confusion. Now, before we continue, Julius stated, sharing a knowing look with Naruto. Naruto acknowledged the signal with a professional nod. Naruto skillfully fashioned durable wooden restraints around the ankles of the captains. There was some initial confusion, but eventually it became evident that there was an individual betraying the group. Nevertheless, the most important aspect was William's contemplation of Naruto. There was no mystical enchantment that encircled his ankles. It was incredibly impressive. William tried to move, but his attempts were unsuccessful. "Now tell me, who is responsible?" Julius asked, looking at the captives. "The captain of the Purple Orcus is Guelder Piazzo," the captive stated, causing Guelder to feel unsettled. The other captains looked to him as he tried to come up with a rationale. "Impossible. They're terrorists that attacked our beloved nation. Can you really trust what they're saying?" Guelder said, attempting to justify his position. There was a lot of talk going around about him. Given the lack of progress he was making in persuading them, he opted to consult his grimoire. Before he could speak, Plop Guelder noticed a decline in his height. He suddenly realized that his legs were nowhere to be found. He was now sitting in a pool of his own blood. He noticed his legs were absent when he cast a quick look downwards. He experienced a sudden and severe pain. He started yelling loudly. As he turned around, he realized that Naruto had taken hold of his legs. Naruto expertly released the binding on the other captains as they carefully backed away, ensuring they wouldn't be affected by any blood. "You deserve worse," Noel declared, his gaze filled with a strong sense of disgust, hatred, and disdain directed towards Gueldre. "You fools, I'll just let myself expire, and you'll never get the information you need," Guelder stated with a sinister laughter. Eventually, everyone came to that realization as they would be without a skilled practitioner for quite some time, and even if they did, it would be challenging for them to meet the deadline. Naruto confidently approached Guelder, his hand emanating a brilliant green glow. The bleeding stopped quickly. Guelder stopped laughing when he realized he had explored all possible options. "It is entirely your responsibility," Gueldre exclaimed at Naruto before Marks cast a spell on him. After carefully examining his memories, they found a detailed account of his activities. Engaging in unethical behavior, such as mistreating his squad members, misappropriating funds, and illicitly selling valuable magical artifacts, and participating in the unauthorized transportation of dangerous magical mixtures from foreign countries. After a comprehensive discussion, Julius recommended not sharing the information with the public. They all made a gesture with their hands and left. Julius asked Yami, Naruto, and Asta to stay, giving them a quick explanation before reassuring them that he would be back. As the captains were departing, Naruto almost caught a glimpse of Raya's altered appearance. "Hey, Raya," Naruto called out, capturing his attention. Naruto's Sharingan was activated as their eyes met. "When you see Sally, please let her know that Naruto is waiting," Naruto said, while Raya maintained a neutral expression. When Sally came into view, he would immediately speak up, causing the genjutsu to fade away. Naruto disappeared into the ground before he could collect his thoughts. "That's quite unusual," Raya commented, nonchalantly scratching his ear as he passed through a portal. With his extensive experience and expertise, Naruto quickly teleported back to the hideout, fully aware of the mission at hand. He didn't pay much heed to what the others were doing, but he and Vanessa both savored a glass of wine. Noel appeared to be experiencing a combination of frustration and jealousy as a result of his choice to spend time with Vanessa instead of her. That's when she made a bold decision. "I would be delighted to join you all for a drink," Noel stated confidently. Vanessa and Naruto exchanged a meaningful look and shared a cheerful chuckle. Vanessa handed the bottle to Noel, who carefully inspected it. She gracefully raised the bottle to her lips and savored the smooth liquid as it gently cascaded into her mouth. Immediately, she expels the wine from her mouth and starts coughing vigorously. "Seems like someone isn't used to drinking," Vanessa observed, noticing Noel coughing after trying the wine. She was not a fan of the taste because it was unfamiliar to her. After 20 minutes, Yami and Asta return, sharing their intention to go to the beach. Everyone is highly enthusiastic about it, including Naruto. Although he didn't show it, he felt a deep sense of happiness as he hadn't seen a beach since he arrived in this world. Yami made the decision to demolish the wall behind him due to the excessive noise. His commanding presence demanded the attention of everyone, compelling them to sit down and listen. Clearly, Naruto was the only person who remained standing as he had no difficulty hearing him. "This is a serious endeavor. We are embarking on a mission," Yami declared, a cigarette hanging from his lips as he assessed his squad. Everyone silently agreed and carried on with their daily routines. Given the need for suitable beach attire, Naruto decided to invest in new clothing. During his shopping trip, He bought a range of items, including black shorts, 10 different shirts, 10 different pairs of pants, new shoes, and a few other things. He effortlessly tried on every option and effortlessly looked great in whichever one he chose. With his expert touch, he meticulously organized his newly acquired possessions in his room, effortlessly utilizing the power of spatial magic. Despite the substantial amount of money spent, the sum Julius gave him was equivalent to about 4 months' salary. He remembered something out of the blue. Remembering that incident, a wide smile appeared on his face. He disappeared quickly from view. At present, Naruto was heading towards the Blue Rose base. He requested a meeting with Charlotte in a formal manner. Since winning the battle, they have not had a productive conversation. To impress Charlotte, he had to show his capability and sincere care for her. As he approached the base, he made sure to stay concealed, fully aware of the potential dangers that could be lurking ahead. Naruto efficiently found Charlotte. She had the highest level of mana among the girls, and he always felt a sense of familiarity whenever he was near Charlotte. As Naruto approached Charlotte's room, it seemed like she was getting ready to go to bed. It was late in the evening, so he understood why she looked the way she did. She was dressed in a blue nightgown. Naruto gently tapped on her window, surprising her as she was unable to sense his presence. "What brings you here?" Charlotte asked, her surprise laced with a touch of aloofness. "I came to see you. We haven't had a proper conversation," Naruto said, but she remained unresponsive. "I can hear you clearly. There's no need for you to come in," Charlotte said, causing Naruto to smile. Naruto confidently approached the window and smoothly passed through it. "How did you?" Charlotte asked, taking a step back as she found herself right by the window. "I just want to have a conversation. I have no ill intentions," Naruto reassured Charlotte. She agreed to have a conversation because she sensed he had no ill intentions. "What would you like to discuss?" Charlotte asked, as she took a seat in the chair opposite Naruto. "I would like to establish a strong connection between us. It is crucial for both of us to get to know each other," Naruto expressed. Charlotte maintained a composed demeanor on the surface, but internally, she allowed herself to indulge in one of her introspective monologues. "I was born in the house of Rosalie. Something remarkable happened, and I made a dedication to cultivate the resilience required to liberate myself from the limitations that held me back," Charlotte said before Naruto interrupted her. "Stop. Can you develop your strength independently? Why rely solely on yourself when there are others you can depend on?" Naruto said, causing Charlotte to briefly widen her eyes. "It's the same thing Yami said," Charlotte mused, contemplating Naruto's reprimand. "What do you think you know? Only I have the knowledge and experience to break the curse placed on me," Charlotte shouted at Naruto. "I understand that nobody can handle everything on their own," Naruto stated before being interrupted by Charlotte. "How do you think I've achieved my current level of success? I have reached where I am today because I have always relied solely on my own abilities. What gives you the impression that I would take advice from a child?" Charlotte exclaimed, causing Naruto to feel frustrated. 12 years ago, I found myself waking up in the forest with only my name. It was there that I met a man who became like family to me. Sadly, I had to make the tough choice of ending his suffering from a disease. Granting his dying wish, I sent him off to his loved ones. This experience made me hesitant to form close bonds, thinking I could handle everything alone. But that mindset almost cost me my life until I realized the importance of relying on others. I'm sharing this story because I genuinely care about you and don't want you to face a similar fate," Naruto said, his voice filled with sadness as he thought of Akira. "You and I are two different people. I don't require anyone to safeguard me in times of danger. I possess unwavering confidence in my skills and will endure even in the most perilous situations," Charlotte declared, prompting a wistful sigh from Naruto as he disappeared from the room. Saul entered the room quickly, showing concern. "Char, I heard your cries. Are you okay? Is there someone here? I'll handle it." Saul quickly scanned the room for any signs of presence. "It's nothing, Saul. I'm just really tired," Charlotte said, getting up from the chair and walking towards the lamp. "All right, good night, Char," Saul said, as she left her room. "Call me Captain," Charlotte asserted, as she turned off the lamp and settled into her bed. "She's putting herself at risk with that kind of thinking. I have no other choice," Naruto commented, looking at the dimly lit room he had just exited. "It's getting late. I should head back to the hideout," Naruto declared, his confidence evident as he stepped through a portal. "Finally, you're back," Vanessa exclaimed, enjoying a bottle of wine. "Were you expecting me?" Naruto asked, noticing Vanessa, who appeared to have consumed a few drinks. "It's common to have a drink before going to bed," Vanessa commented, extending an unopened bottle to Naruto. The evening progressed, and they savored a few bottles of beverages while participating in animated conversation and laughter. After the fourth bottle, he was struck once again, simultaneously. Feeling tired, he decided to call it a night. "It's getting late. I'm going to bed," Naruto stated, trying to steady himself as he stood up, clearly impacted by alcohol. "Let me help you. It's important that you don't trip," Vanessa said, carefully supporting Naruto's arm around her neck. She expertly guided Naruto back to his room. "Thank you," Naruto whispered before succumbing to unconsciousness. Vanessa meticulously surveyed the empty hallway before gently closing the door behind her as she stayed in the room. She then leaned against him, feeling the familiar sense of safety she had felt before. Time skip with unwavering confidence, he was convinced that he was successfully sticking to his training routine, even with the extra weight. Naruto woke up to find Vanessa peacefully asleep on top of him. He then struggled to put the cover over her because she was barely dressed. After multiple failed attempts, he skillfully placed the cover over her. Naruto softly placed his arm around her. Her reassuring embrace surrounded him, creating a feeling of peace. He pulled her closer, then quickly fell asleep. Vanessa, who was fully focused, had a contented smile as she comfortably settled on top of Naruto. It was clear that he was not being honest when he said he had a near-death experience while talking to Charlotte. He planted another seed in a skilled manner. It was a morning that started bright and early, rousing everyone from their slumber. Naruto woke up to discover Vanessa still resting on top of him. In the midst of the uncertainty surrounding Vanessa's location, Magna suddenly entered Naruto's room to discover them both peacefully asleep. Noticing Naruto's intense gaze, the individual cautiously closed the door to prevent any possible conflict. "Ah," Vanessa exclaimed with contentment as she stretched her body. "Is it already time to get up?" Vanessa inquired, gently dismounting Naruto and exiting his room. With Naruto's preference for mornings, he discovered that it was easier to navigate and complete tasks. He prepared himself and participated in a calm workout, patiently waiting for his squadmates to be ready. "What was Vanessa doing coming out of your room?" Noel asked Naruto, speaking assertively. Naruto paid no attention to her and effortlessly ascended into the air. Given Vanessa's unwillingness to share the information, she assumed that Naruto might offer some valuable perspective. Considering the close proximity of Naruto's and Asta's rooms, she made the decision to approach him. "Asta, did you hear anything last night?" Noel asked, glancing briefly at the sleepy Vanessa. "No, I didn't hear anything. I stayed up pretty late, so I would have heard something. Although, I did notice Naruto going into his room, and that's all," Asta said nonchalantly as he sat on Crazy Cyclone. Once she received her response, she confidently mounted Crazy Cyclone, and they swiftly embarked on their journey. Given Naruto's ability to fly, he had no need for a broom or to rely on someone for transportation. However, the experience there was quite dull. The other person's slow pace during the flight was quite frustrating, but our protagonist's remarkable patience allowed him to endure the journey. Before long, they found themselves on the beach, admiring the magnificent ocean. While on the beach, individuals couldn't help but notice him, or rather, his physique. Given his age, it is quite impressive. His physique was exceptional, a well-sculpted six-pack, toned arms, legs, and back, giving an overall aesthetically pleasing appearance. He was attracting attention from both girls and guys. Naruto is unfazed by the stares. It didn't faze him at all. Magna emerged wearing a loincloth. Asta was unsure about the subject, so Magna kindly provided an explanation. Then, Vanessa arrived and confidently displayed her swimsuit. She was wearing a pink swimsuit, which deviated from the norm. Despite her usual choice of clothing, she still looked absolutely stunning. Naruto quickly averted his gaze, concealing any signs of embarrassment. He was unaware of his blushing until Vanessa pointed it out. "Oh, Naruto. Do you approve of what you see?" Vanessa said in a captivating manner. What she didn't anticipate was for Naruto to reciprocate with the same level of intensity. "I'm not sure, perhaps you would appear more attractive without it," Naruto suggested, grinning as Vanessa blushed and stepped away. He has a distinct personality compared to Asta and Magna. Is he inexperienced? Vanessa contemplated as she made her way to the lounge chair, seeking respite from the sun. Magna's loincloth was set ablaze by an unfortunate incident, leading him to frantically dash about. Asta believed it was a component of a training exercise, so he also sprinted. Now it was just Naruto by himself, and a timid Noel was attempting to display her swimsuit. "Noel, how much longer do you intend to remain concealed behind that tree?" Naruto's statement caught Noel off guard, causing her to jump slightly. She emerged from behind the tree, her face flushed and her movements restless. Naruto was momentarily perplexed, but then recalled her desire to seek Asta's input on her swimsuit in the original. "So, what are your thoughts?" Noel said in a reserved, soft-spoken manner. Naruto struggled to make out her words. "It appears to be of high quality. That outfit suits you well," Naruto stated, causing Noel to blush with embarrassment. She quickly made her way to Vanessa's location. Currently, Naruto gazed out at the ocean, his Sharingan activated, in search of a dolphin. Now, what is the reason behind Naruto's search for a dolphin? Since Naruto lacks experience in swimming, it would be beneficial for him to interact with a skilled swimmer like a dolphin. Soon after, Naruto noticed a dolphin swimming at a speed of 13 miles per hour. Naruto imitated the dolphin's movements and leapt into the ocean. "Has Naruto ever tried swimming?" Vanessa inquired out loud upon witnessing Naruto's impressive leap. Noel was next to her, so she took the initiative to respond. "Did Naruto and Asta grow up together or live in close proximity?" Noel observed Vanessa, who appeared to be growing increasingly anxious. "Asta has never seen the ocean before," Vanessa said, expressing deep concern. "So it seems like both of them are inexperienced swimmers," Noel exclaimed as she and Vanessa hurriedly made their way to Naruto's last known location. "Do you believe he?" Noel said, gazing out at the ocean with concern and apprehension. "Hello, everyone, what are you doing here?" "Just observing," Asta inquired, observing Noel and Vanessa gazing out at the ocean. Naruto dove in without any prior knowledge of swimming. "It's been just a minute since he jumped in." Vanessa expressed her concerns with a clear tone of worry. "What is happening in this situation?" Magna approached the three individuals, casting concerned glances at the ocean. Naruto made a daring leap, Noel expressed her concern. "So," Magna inquired, perplexed about the message they were attempting to convey. "He lacks the ability to swim. He has no experience with beaches or swimming." Noel's statement caused Magna and Luck to quickly realize something. "How long has he been down there?" Magna asked, gazing out into the vast expanse of the ocean, hoping to catch a glimpse of Naruto. "It's been 6 minutes already," Vanessa said, sounding disappointed. They all then understood the result of this. They all cried. As the 5 of them shed tears, the sight of their distress left passers-by with a mix of confusion and sadness on their faces. Those with a somber demeanor surmised that their companion had likely perished by drowning. They could only observe with sympathy. After some time, Yami arrived at the beach only to find everyone wearing somber expressions. "What's the reason for the somber expressions?" Yami inquired while enjoying a cigarette. "Seems like you're not feeling very chatty." "It doesn't matter. Where is Naruto? I have something important to share with everyone," Yami asked, causing frustration among everyone present. Upon witnessing this, Yami became slightly concerned. "Where can I find Naruto?" Yami asked with a hint of concern in his voice. "He dove into the ocean. It's been nearly an hour, and he still hasn't resurfaced," Vanessa said with a hint of sadness. Yami removed his robe, shirt, and grimoire holder. He removed his shoes and socks. "What are you doing, Captain? It's past the deadline," Magna observed as Yami removed his clothing. Yami was enveloped in a vibrant purple aura as he gracefully leapt into the ocean. The others were taken aback by his action, but what options did they have? They patiently sat and waited. They waited for 10 minutes and received no response. Yami suddenly takes a deep breath, emerging from underwater. They were pleased to see Yami, but their demeanor shifted when he returned without anything. Yami swam to shore and walked past his squad without uttering a word. Not only did he discover that one of his colleagues had passed away, but he was unable to locate the person's remains. He was filled with deep remorse. Yami sat down and had difficulty lighting a cigarette due to his hand trembling. Let's go. You have extensive experience in this area. Make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. Yami muttered to himself, attempting to steady his trembling. Yami proceeded to brief everyone on the mission, assigning Noel as the individual responsible for leading them to the bottom. It was nighttime, and the moon was visible in the sky. Noel was determined to create a cradle that could withstand the powerful currents. However, her focus appeared to be elsewhere. A few hours earlier, his lung capacity surpassed that of anyone else due to the breathing exercises he practiced as a child. Naruto took a deep breath and fearlessly leapt into the ocean. He opted to use mana skin as a precautionary measure. He jumped because he had a desire to explore the ocean. Due to his exceptional swimming abilities, he was able to swim at an impressive speed. Naruto discovered various items that held no value to him, as they were discarded by others. He also encountered several unique creatures that differed from those found on Earth. As Naruto found himself submerged in the depths of the ocean, the surroundings appeared unchanged, leaving him uncertain about the setting sun. Despite his strong time management skills, he was completely unaware of the current time. After thoroughly enjoying his exploration, Naruto made the decision to return to shore. He utilized his water magic to enhance his speed and propel himself forward. Frankly, Naruto believed he had only been underwater for a few minutes. He anticipated that the sun would still be shining. As he approached the surface, he observed that the lighting had diminished compared to earlier. He soon realized the reason behind the darkness. Oh no! Naruto moved swiftly through the water, propelled by his mastery of water magic. Given the distance he had traveled, he found himself quite far from the shore. Naruto skillfully plunged into the depths of the ocean, swiftly propelling himself upwards with the grace of a dolphin. As he soared through the air, he swiftly made his way back to shore. He would return shortly, in just a matter of minutes. How long was I submerged? Naruto quietly murmured to himself. Certainly, they didn't presume that I perished, correct? They are aware of my ability to fly. However, it is a possibility. While sitting in the small resort that was purchased for their trip, everyone was feeling a sense of sadness. Magna and Luck were having a discussion, Vanessa wasn't indulging in any beverages, Charmy was still enjoying her meal, and Finral was not behaving in his usual manner. Yami was coping with his emotions in his own unique manner by finding solace in solitude. It was out of the ordinary for the Black Bulls to be so quiet, which Yami noticed was having an impact on them. As Luck was seated, he suddenly felt a tingling sensation on the back of his neck. His eyes widened with a mix of anticipation and surprise upon sensing the familiar mana. He quickly left the resort and returned to the beach. Everyone was momentarily perplexed until they detected the same thing that Luck had perceived. Finral efficiently created a portal back to the beach, saving them the trouble of running there. Yami, who was in a rather compromising position, couldn't help but burst into laughter upon understanding the reason behind his member's departure. Hey, that person, Yami said as he took a long drag on his cigarette. Excuse me, what is the purpose of your presence here? Are you here for training as well? Asta inquired, observing his squad as they emerged through a portal. They didn't respond to Asta, but there was a sense of optimism evident on their faces. Asta, Noel, and Kahono turned their attention towards the same direction as everyone else. Shortly after, they all become aware of a powerful presence approaching them. Asta assumes a defensive stance, then quickly recognizes the approaching individual as someone he knows. Naruto, Luck excitedly shouted and bounced up and down, eagerly awaiting his arrival. Upon catching sight of Luck, they all let out a collective sigh of relief, eager to lay eyes on him personally. After a few seconds, Naruto gracefully touched down a few feet from their position. His powerful landing caused the sand in front of him to swirl like a sandstorm. Upon recognizing the individual, a wave of joy spread across everyone's faces. Individually, they all rushed towards Naruto and embraced him. Although Naruto wasn't typically inclined towards group hugs, he allowed them to happen. Why is everyone embracing me? What's going on? Naruto inquired, his voice filled with confusion. He was aware of his absence, but he was unprepared for what awaited him. We thought you were no longer with us, Vanessa said, looking down with a sense of embarrassment. We? Do you mean the entire team? Naruto inquired, observing the evident embarrassment displayed on their faces. You are aware of my ability to fly, correct? If I were in a dire situation like drowning, I would have found a way to escape from underwater. Naruto said, making them feel foolish. Why did you stay submerged for such an extended period? Noel posed the inquiry that was on everyone's mind. I embarked on an exploration. I was curious to explore the depths of the ocean. Look, sharks and whales are not powerful. Naruto's statement brought everyone back to their usual state. Oh, I had expected them to possess greater strength in combat. Luck expressed disappointment upon discovering their lack of strength. Following the encounter, everyone other than Asta, Noel, and their newfound companion remained outside. Despite Naruto's indifference, it was rather unfortunate how they abandoned Gordon. In addition, his magical abilities could prove to be valuable if they were ever in need of assistance. Additionally, Naruto had the ability to mimic and develop immunity to poison. When nobody was present, Naruto skillfully crafted a portal that seamlessly linked to the interior of the hideout. Naruto peered through the opening and noticed Gordon, who was still seated with his large backpack. Gordon, Naruto called out, catching his attention. You came back for me, Gordon whispered, his eyes welling up with tears. Come on, Naruto said, extending his hand for Gordon to take. Gordon extended his hand, and Naruto helped him up from his seated position. Thank you. Gordon murmured quietly as he stepped through the portal. He observed the ocean and the resort where they were lodging. You're welcome, Naruto said as he came back with Gordon. Amidst the chatter, Naruto requested Gordon's company at the beach. He also provided 3 bowls of food for Asta, Noel, and Kahono. Approaching the 3 individuals, Naruto graciously handed each of them a bowl of food. Noel's hard work was evident to Naruto as she perspired profusely. Thanks, Naruto. I was famished, Asta exclaimed as he eagerly dug into the meal. Naruto then approached Noel and spoke in a hushed tone. I appreciate your commitment. If you're feeling frustrated or annoyed, don't discard those emotions because they indicate that you haven't surrendered, Naruto said, wearing a smile as he gently patted Noel's head. Noel turns her head, feeling a bit embarrassed and blushing, as Naruto gives her a compliment. She was taken aback by his sudden praise. The sincerity in his eyes and the genuine smile on his face were unmistakable to her. Despite her desire to accept the head pat, she refrained from doing so due to the presence of too many people. Thank you. Noel replied in response to Naruto's words. She was feeling inspired. She felt confident in her abilities, but she made the choice to take a break. Naruto and Kahono introduced themselves, and Naruto also introduced Gordon. During their meal, Naruto discreetly approached Gordon. At a respectable distance from them. Gordon, I require your expertise in utilizing your poison magic, Naruto said, maintaining a composed demeanor. Witnessing Naruto's composed demeanor, Gordon was taken aback. What? I can't do that, there's a risk of someone getting hurt. Gordon said with a somber tone, reflecting on the potential loss of a friend. What if I encounter an individual proficient in poison magic and lack the necessary resistance? In such a scenario, my demise would be inevitable, Naruto expressed, prompting Gordon to ponder. Friends are expected to assist one another, correct? I request your assistance at this moment, Naruto stated, eliciting a determined expression from Gordon. Poison magic. Verb tens obst. A potent liquid poison began to envelop Naruto, infiltrating his body. Immediately, the poison had already begun to have an impact. He noticed a gradual decline in his physical strength, but the Hashirama cells were fulfilling their role. He sensed the battle raging within his body as the poison fought against his cells. Eventually, his cells successfully eliminated the poison from his system. The poison's effects were rendered ineffective due to his cells. Following that, Naruto advised Gordon to increase his strength for the next attempt, and Gordon accomplished precisely that. Given his experience with poison, it became somewhat easier to develop resistance. Due to the increased power used by Gordon, it took Naruto a longer time to neutralize the poison and its effects. The night continued, and they kept going until Gordon began to appear fatigued. After Gordon returned to the resort, Naruto decided to stay behind in order to continue his training. First, he made his way over to where the 3 individuals were located. He noticed that she was still facing difficulties, so he offered her some guidance. Instead of holding back your magic, unleash it, Naruto said, catching them off guard as they hadn't noticed or detected his presence. I can't. You remember what happened last time, Noel said, recalling the incident when her magic went out of control. Yeah, I remember. But what's the big deal? I'm here, so I'll assist you if anything goes awry, Naruto stated, leaving a lasting impression of himself engulfed in flames within Noel's thoughts. Noel then unleashed her magic, and unfortunately, she couldn't manage it. She began questioning herself once more, but quickly regained her confidence upon hearing the enthusiastic support of her squadmates. The primary voice she heard was Naruto's. Reflecting on fond memories with the Black Bulls, she pushed herself beyond her limits and successfully crafted a new spell. Upon completing the spell, she descended gracefully from the sky. Indeed, Naruto was the one who came to her rescue, causing her cheeks to turn red. Naruto set her down and approached Vanessa. He took one of the 2 bottles she was holding and drank from it. He observed that his cells had the ability to neutralize the effects of alcohol only if he consumed it consistently. Despite his actions, he was gradually developing a higher tolerance to alcohol, making it harder for him to become intoxicated. However, if he discovered a method to regulate his regeneration while consuming alcohol, he could experience the effects of intoxication like an average individual. Amidst the congratulations showered upon Noel, Naruto chose to voice his thoughts. Recently, he and Vanessa engaged in a game, and unfortunately for her, she lost. As a result, it was now her turn to fulfill her obligation. Vanessa, you still owe me one favor, Naruto reminded, causing Vanessa to recall the bet they had made. What is it? Are you going to ask to see me unclothed? Vanessa said in a sluggish manner due to being intoxicated. No, not at the moment. No, I would like to invite you on a date, but just as friends, Naruto said, surprising Vanessa. Unexpectedly, she was taken aback by his words. Indeed, she agreed, but not out of any personal obligation. She agreed to go on the date because she was interested. After Naruto requested her and she agreed, Magna and Luck utilized their magic to create a dazzling display of fireworks. It was a pleasant sight to behold, particularly with the individuals he regarded as his companions. What's going on? Naruto stirred awake, disturbed by faint sounds and commotion. When he regained consciousness, he noticed a sensation of pressure and moisture around his lower area. He was disoriented until his blurry sight cleared. He noticed Vanessa, positioned above him, her face appearing flushed. He soon became aware that the muted sounds were her attempts to stifle her moans. He noticed her walls constrict around his member. He experienced a pleasant sensation, yet he found himself perplexed by his immobility. He had no choice but to go through it, although he found it somewhat surprising and unusual that she did this while he was sleeping. Vanessa let out a loud moan as she sensually moved her hips. She was straddling him, fully clothed but with her panties moved aside to allow for intimate contact. She expressed her pleasure audibly while intensifying the pace of her actions. She had saliva dripping from her mouth, and fluids flowing from her intimate area onto Naruto's lower region and trickling down to his groin. Naruto let out a grunt of pleasure, but a sense of unease began to creep over him as he wondered why he was unable to move. Vanessa expressed pleasure as she moved back and forth on his thighs. Vanessa appeared to be having a good time, but Naruto didn't think this was ideal. He then heard a whisper that was quite loud. He suddenly woke up, his gaze fixed on the wooden ceiling above. He observed Vanessa resting on him, her cheeks flushed with color. He was perplexed until he experienced a discomforting sensation in his pants. He glanced at his junior, who was wide awake and eager to play. Naruto felt a brief moment of embarrassment before quickly getting back on his feet, leaving Vanessa intrigued about the contents of his dream. While she was asleep, she suddenly felt a sharp sensation on her side. She disregarded it until it began to trouble her. When she opened her eyes, she noticed Naruto's object attempting to free itself from his pants. She attempted to call out to him, but when she did, a slight movement could be felt in his trousers. She found it adorable and continued to call his name. Finally, he regained consciousness and exited the room. What is the purpose? Only he is aware. Naruto stepped outside to enjoy the fresh air and find some peace of mind. After 5 minutes, his subordinate dozed off again. He breathed a sigh of relief, then pondered the possible cause. He then recalled that he shared his bed with a partially clothed woman every evening. However, it remains unclear why this occurred at this particular moment. He had been doing well for a while, so why now? He realized that he needed to address certain desires. Naturally, he wouldn't handle it personally if he had a team to take care of it. Should I give Sister Lily a try? It's been a while since she last reached out to me. Naruto pondered visiting her, but was unsure of the time as he gazed up at the sky. Naruto suddenly felt overwhelmingly tired and quickly became drowsy. He was unaware of the cause, but he experienced a barely perceptible stinging sensation in his eyes. Naruto returned to the resort and drifted back into slumber. He wanted to avoid any future occurrences that could potentially make Vanessa feel uneasy. Naruto was unaware of the surprise that crossed her face, given his young age. Considering the matter, her mind was brimming with intriguing ideas. When everyone woke up, they were either occupied with their own activities or enjoying the beach. The majority of the squad spent several hours on the beach, engaging in activities such as resting, socializing, and honing their skills. Naruto dedicated his time to running throughout the day, focusing on improving his stamina and speed. At approximately 5 o'clock, Naruto approached Vanessa. "Come on," Naruto said, putting aside everything that happened earlier. Vanessa and Naruto dressed in suitable clothing and went on their date. They dined at a restaurant. They engaged in conversation, shared laughter, and grew more connected. He then accompanied her on a flight to observe the view from above. Now, you might be wondering, didn't you fly over here, so she was able to see what it looks like from above? Incorrect. Naruto noticed that it appeared more aesthetically pleasing when positioned higher in the sky during sunset. At that moment, as the sun began its descent, the breathtaking beauty of the scene unfolded before my eyes. The water was serene, and the trees had a picturesque quality to them. The sunlight illuminating the trees created a breathtaking scene, as if they were gracefully soaring towards a heavenly realm. Even the sand appeared to be in pristine condition. As the sun descended, its color transformed. The upper portion had an orange hue, while the lower part displayed a peachy shade. The combination of the two colors transformed the clouds into a mesmerizing blend of violet, purple, and red hues. It was quite a spectacle, and Vanessa appeared to be thoroughly enjoying it. They hovered in the sky, atop an imperceptible platform crafted by Naruto. Vanessa then gazed at Naruto with a kind, gentle expression in her eyes. Naruto gazed at Vanessa, his blue eyes radiating warmth, passion, and a comforting presence. "Naruto, it's as if you possess a duality, effortlessly maintaining a harmonious equilibrium between contrasting aspects of your personality," Vanessa remarked, capturing Naruto's undivided attention. "Not everyone is aware of this aspect of my personality, and those who hold a special place in my heart," Naruto said, causing Vanessa's heart to flutter. Upon hearing those unexpected words, a sense of warmth enveloped her. She believed she could spend a lifetime with him. She was confident in her emotions for Yami after he rescued her, but with the arrival of Naruto, she found herself uncertain about her feelings. It gradually unfolded. She was developing stronger emotions for Naruto, while her feelings for Yami were gradually fading away. She considered the similarities and differences between Naruto and Yami. She attempted to gain Yami's affection, but due to his lack of perception, he never understood her intentions. Although he may have empathized with her emotions, he didn't view her as a potential partner. However, she discovered someone who offered her their undivided attention and embraced her imperfections. She had discovered another Yami, but she hesitated to mention it because Naruto was completely different from him. She had a moment of realization. She ultimately came to the realization that Yami was not the right person for her, but Naruto was. Upon realizing it, she gently placed her hand on her chest. She experienced a heartfelt warmth as she thought about her and Naruto. Unbeknownst to her, she was unknowingly developing feelings for him. She smiled as she gently wiped away the tears. She rested her head on Naruto's shoulder and admired the beauty of the sunset. They remained seated throughout, observing the sunset. Just as the sun began to set and darkness fell, Naruto shifted his gaze towards Vanessa. They gazed at each other for a moment, and then Naruto gently touched her chin. As she locked eyes with him, she couldn't help but feel a bit flustered. Naruto glanced at her pink lips, then sensually ran his tongue across his own. She experienced a rapid heartbeat as her anxiety grew. Naruto gently kissed her lips. Vanessa was taken aback for a moment until she felt a wave of calm wash over her entire body. She experienced a calming sensation wash over her. She was taken aback by the unexpected softness of his lips. Naruto experienced a brief sensation of excitement as he felt the softness of her lips. He took a risk by kissing her on the first date. However, over time, she began to engage more, reciprocating the kisses. Naruto then entered his tongue, and Vanessa displayed no indication of resistance. Exploring each other's mouths, with determination, the enticing flavor of wine heightened Naruto's desire for her. However, they were both aware that if they persisted, the outcome she witnessed when Naruto utilized his expertise on her would inevitably occur. Naruto was the one who ended the kiss, leaving Vanessa feeling perplexed. "Is my breath unpleasant? I would like to continue, but I don't want you to perceive me as solely using you for physical intimacy. I view you as someone with deeper significance to me. Additionally, considering our current location in the sky, there is a possibility of others observing us, unless you enjoy having an audience," Naruto stated, causing Vanessa to smirk. Internally, she was filled with overwhelming happiness upon discovering a remarkable find. She greatly respected Naruto for his exceptional self-discipline. If they had continued for a few more minutes, the intensity would have escalated to the point where she couldn't resist the temptation to undress him. She quietly smiled, considering that she should show her appreciation. Just a couple of hours had gone by since the sun came up. Charlotte could be seen training, but despite her professional demeanor, a hint of concern was evident on her face. During their conversation the other night, Naruto's words had a greater impact on her than he realized. His words had a significant effect on her, more than she desired. His words had a profound impact on her, reaching deep into her soul. Yami was no longer the sole focus of her thoughts. Regardless of her efforts, Naruto remained a constant presence in her thoughts. A bright light suddenly appeared a few meters above Charlotte. Marx was conveying a message in a professional manner. "Charlotte, the Wizard King would like to meet with you," Marx stated, receiving a nod of acknowledgement from Charlotte. She promptly headed towards the royal capital. While on the streets, people showed great respect towards her. The men showed their respect and reverence towards her, acknowledging both their admiration and fear. The woman, however, showed respect by bowing, as she was highly regarded by the women around her. Charlotte acknowledged the individuals who were showing their respect to her with a wave, nod, or a subtle smile. Upon her arrival at the royal captain, she was promptly guided to the Wizard King. Despite her familiarity with the location and her strong moral character, they still had to exercise caution. What was preventing her from becoming a traitor, just like the captain? "You wanted to see me," Charlotte said, respectfully bowing before Julius. Julius, seated on his luxurious chair, glanced up from his paperwork to meet Charlotte's gaze. "Oh, Charlotte. It's good to see you," Julius said, his tone changing as he noticed the troubled expression on her face. Julius sensed that she was skilled at concealing her emotions, so he wondered what was troubling her so deeply. "Is there something on your mind, Charlotte?" Julius inquired with genuine concern. His primary focus was on the mission he intended to assign her, rather than her well-being. "No, sir. I've been contemplating a few matters," Charlotte replied, offering a subtle nod to convey her deference. "If that's the case, I have a task for you," Julius said, receiving a nod from Charlotte, indicating she was prepared to listen. In the Diamond Kingdom, there were reports of Diamond Kingdom mages patrolling the area. Your task is to go there and gather information. If you encounter any diamond mages, your priority is to observe and report back. Only resort to combat if absolutely required, Julius instructed with precision. He had the utmost confidence in Charlotte for this mission. She displayed a composed demeanor, exhibited patience, and had a preference for avoiding unnecessary conflicts, making her an ideal candidate for the mission. However, the expression on her face gave him pause. Nevertheless, he was determined to assign her a mission. "Yes, sir. I will depart promptly," Charlotte said, bowing once more. The Wizard King commanded great respect from all who knew him. "Oh, and you can bring 2 people from your squad if necessary," Julius stated, causing Charlotte to flinch and tightly grip her fist. "Certainly," Charlotte replied before exiting the room. "This is a scout mission. I am fully capable of handling things on my own." Charlotte thought confidently, with a determined look in her eyes, that she alone would be sufficient. Charlotte promptly departed without informing Saul, as she knew Saul would insist on accompanying her. Deep in contemplation, she instinctively found her way to the intended destination. Lost in thought and oblivious to her surroundings, she suddenly startled at the sound of voices and instinctively sought refuge in a nearby bush. She noticed two diamond mages engaged in conversation. "Where are they?" the mage asked impatiently, addressing the other mage. "They should arrive shortly. Just remain patient," the other mage remarked, growing increasingly frustrated. "We've been waiting here for hours. How much longer will they require? We have a tight schedule," the individual remarked with evident frustration. "I understand. Our mission entails infiltrating the Clover Kingdom, acquiring their valuable assets and resources. Our approach involves assuming the roles of Clover mages, incapacitating the guards stationed at the treasure room, and returning to our kingdom," the mage explained, causing Charlotte to clench her jaw in frustration. She had sufficient evidence and was ready to proceed. However, additional individuals arrived. If they were to engage in a confrontation, the odds would be heavily stacked against them with a significant numerical disadvantage. "Apologies for our tardiness. We encountered an unexpected obstacle en route," another member of the Diamond Mage group explained to those who were waiting. "Sure, let's proceed," the mage responded as the diamond that had just arrived halted his progress. "So, who is the person concealed in the foliage?" the individual inquired, gazing at the fellow individual, then shifting their attention towards the bushes. "What are you referring to?" the mage inquired, directing his gaze towards the same point that had caught the attention of his companion. "How did he locate me?" Charlotte pondered how he had noticed her, reflecting on the situation. "I have exceptional auditory abilities compared to others. I can hear her breathing in my ear. Her heartbeat remains calm and steady, while her breathing appears to be uneven," the mage observed, while one of the 10 mages launched a fireball towards the bushes. Charlotte skillfully evaded the fireball, subtly drawing attention to herself in the process. Immediately, she sensed the intense stares fixated upon her. "It's an aesthetically pleasing one. Our day continues to improve," remarked the Diamond Mage who appeared to be in charge. "Capture her, safely, and please refrain from making any contact with her until I have completed my task," the man stated before walking away. She settled herself on a rock to observe the events unfold. "There are more people than I anticipated. Nevertheless, this is merely another challenge that I will conquer," Charlotte remarked confidently, retrieving her briar sword from her grimoire. Noticing her intention to challenge them, they all chuckled as they prepared for battle. Charlotte expertly wields her sword, effortlessly obliterating the incoming ice shard. In this moment, her focus is solely on defending herself until an opportunity presents itself. Charlotte expertly cuts through a fireball using her briar whip adorned with blue roses. She swiftly eliminates another ice shard, adjusting her trajectory to effortlessly slice through an oncoming water attack. Noticing her becoming a challenge, they all simultaneously launched an assault on her. She couldn't help but smile, observing their futile endeavor. With a graceful leap, she effortlessly evaded all of their attacks. Briar Creation Magic. Corpse Hunting Briar Tree. Her sword effortlessly morphs into a multitude of pickled vines, swiftly ensnaring every diamond mage in its path, leaving only the leader untouched. They were all stuck in the tall trees, unable to take any action. Briar Creation Magic. Scarlet Braided Beautiful Battle Spear. Instead of creating a single large spear, she opted to make several smaller ones. With a skilled motion, she swiftly threw her hand forward, causing the spears to impale those ensnared in the briar. She didn't kill them, she simply incapacitated them to the extent that they were unable to continue fighting. She then focused her attention on the one who managed to get away. "I understand. It appears that your vines were significantly affected by fire damage. Well, fortunate me," the individual stated while launching several fireballs in her direction. Charlotte had to utilize her whip to eliminate it. She couldn't evade it as it approached rapidly. If she attempted to, she would have ended up getting hit. The fireballs were scorching as every vine that made contact with them was swiftly severed by the sword. Charlotte clenched her teeth, as it was her sole vulnerability. Continuously casting spells, she skillfully employed her whip to nullify it. She determined that the Diamond Mage was at a professional level. Despite her best efforts, she was unable to find a solution to navigate around the fireballs. At that point, her vines began to experience increased detachment. She was struck by a fireball on her leg. She let out a pained sound. The intensity of the fireball's heat was undeniable. However, that was inconsequential. She persisted in her efforts because she had a point to prove. Seems like someone's losing their momentum, the man stated as he accelerated his pace. He successfully cast additional fireballs, causing harm to Charlotte. She attempted to come up with a solution, but her thoughts were consumed by overwhelming anxiety. After enduring countless fireballs, her body eventually succumbed. She attempted to regain her composure, but her efforts proved futile. The man approached Charlotte and leaned down to work, bringing them face to face. The mage proceeded to lick the side of her face. She pulled her back abruptly, filled with disgust. "Feel free to express yourself. We're going to have a great time together," the man stated as he prepared to incapacitate Charlotte. However, his punch missed its target. As he glanced around, he noticed a young boy with lengthy blue hair standing at a considerable distance from him. He noticed that the girl was also present in his vicinity. "It's a child, ha ha. Did they send someone inexperienced?" The man burst into laughter as Naruto went to check on Charlotte. "What did I say?" Naruto raised his voice, expressing his concern for her. He arrived promptly upon receiving word from his clone that she was in peril. That evening, after their conversation concluded, Naruto had a strong intuition, prompting him to create a clone to keep a watchful eye on her. The clone observed the situation but chose not to inform him, as they did not perceive it to be a matter of life or death. Upon noticing the significant amount of damage she was enduring, the clone promptly informed the original about the situation. Naruto donned attire suitable for combat and seamlessly swapped places with his clone. He noticed the diamond mage preparing to strike Charlotte, so he quickly intervened and moved her a few meters away. She had visible injuries, including burns and marks on her body, with saliva on her face. Naruto was already aware of the events that transpired and the intentions behind them. That really got under his skin. "Naruto." Charlotte glanced at Naruto, feeling perplexed by his presence. "What did I mention the other day? If you need someone dependable, count on me. It's not always possible to handle everything on your own," Naruto confidently stated as he rose to his feet and approached the diamond mage. A figure emerged from the shadows, swiftly removing their hood before seamlessly returning to their original position. "Did you do that solely to remove my hood?" the man chuckled as he spoke. Naruto's gaze intensified as his eyes transformed into a deep crimson hue, locking onto his target. Naruto subjected him to a Tsukuyomi of relentless torment for a duration of 3 days. It's comparable to Itachi's, but of a lower standard. Naruto then opened a portal to Julius's office. He moved all the bodies to that location. Naruto then approached Charlotte, who appeared to be lost in contemplation. Naruto didn't wait for her to say anything. He lifted her gently in his arms and swiftly carried her back to the kingdom. "Why? How?" Charlotte inquired, perplexed about how Naruto had arrived. He was expected to be on a mission. "I want to emphasize that you have a support system. Why do you believe I am striving for such great achievements?" Naruto inquired, leaving Charlotte speechless. "I warned you about this outcome, yet you proceeded anyway. Why do I even bother?" Naruto inquired about Charlotte's lack of response. "What is the point of even trying?" Charlotte expressed her frustration loudly. "Because I am dedicated and passionate. I take every measure to ensure your safety because I genuinely care. I assured you that I would lift your curse, and it is imperative that you remain alive for me to fulfill my promise," Naruto shouted in response to Charlotte. "I didn't request for you to do this. I was doing well independently," Charlotte raised her voice, only to be interrupted by Naruto. "Indeed. You were by yourself. Without any reliable companions to rely on in times of need. You don't have to be alone anymore, can't you see?" Naruto spoke with a composed demeanor, which helped to alleviate some of Charlotte's anxiety. "I don't require assistance," Charlotte argued, causing Naruto to shake his head. "What happened earlier? Do you realize the consequences if I hadn't arrived?" Naruto inquired, causing Charlotte to turn her head. Her stubbornness can be quite frustrating. However, the situation would be less enjoyable if he didn't have to put in some effort to win over the girl he desired. "Do you recall what I mentioned the other evening?" Naruto inquired, receiving an affirmative response from Charlotte. "Great. I want to assure you that I have no intentions of ever leaving. Regardless of your personal preferences, I made a commitment and I intend to honor it," Naruto confidently declared as his hands emitted a vibrant green glow. She was healed in a matter of seconds. Naruto skillfully opened a portal to return to her base and swiftly left her behind. Throughout the remaining 5 days, Naruto and Gordon dedicated themselves to rigorous nightly training sessions that lasted for hours. It was a mutually beneficial situation for both parties involved. Naruto was becoming more resilient, while Gordon was enhancing the potency of his poison. In addition, Naruto has shown remarkable progress in his mastery of water magic. He also began incorporating a fighting technique that drew inspiration from the power of water magic. Naruto has also developed a more advanced connection with Vanessa. Following their date, Vanessa and Naruto became more forthcoming than they were previously. There haven't been any unusual occurrences, aside from their close relationship. They wanted to avoid any misunderstandings. Not yet, but perhaps in the future. They would engage in intimate moments when no one was around and continued to do so without restraint, currently. Additionally, due to Naruto and Gordon's dedicated training over the past week, their friendship has flourished. Because Naruto was the only one who could hear Gordon, their friendship was stronger than the others. Gordon consistently struggled to assert himself and express his opinions, despite Naruto's constant encouragement. At last, Naruto has been spending more time with Noel. He realized that he could influence her behavior to better suit his preferences. Additionally, she has some redeeming qualities. It's simply her tsundere tendencies. So Naruto would playfully say things to tease her or make her blush. He was gradually winning her over. It was a breeze. Despite the difficulty, many considered taming someone like her to be quite a challenge. Additionally, he can play with her siblings. Given their lack of affinity for one another, if Noel and Naruto were to enter into a marital union, they would be deemed as kin. But marriage? Mereoleona was the only woman he would willingly get married to. There was a certain quality about her that set her apart from the others. Her assertive demeanor, her level of professionalism, her expertise. He could continue discussing her, but he was pressed for time. Thanks to Noel's expertise in spellcasting, she successfully transported them to the temple. Noel appeared slightly anxious, so he approached her to help calm her down. Regardless of his words, she would blush at any praise or compliments from her. Relax. Take a moment to collect yourself. There's no need to worry, except for the slight concern that you could potentially endanger us all, Naruto remarked, causing her to become tense. Naruto was then moved aside by his squad mates. Rest assured, you have nothing to worry about because we all have faith in your abilities, Asta said, offering words of encouragement to Noel. Yeah, disregard that individual's advice. I mean, our lives are in your hands, so if you make a mistake, Magna said before being interrupted. Please be respectful in your language. Here, please try this. It will help you relax. Vanessa extended her arm, offering a bottle of wine. Are you attempting to endanger our lives? Magna reprimanded Vanessa for attempting to intoxicate her. Naruto skillfully maneuvered himself behind her without being detected. He softly spoke into her ear and said, "Listen, we have full confidence in your ability to succeed, so there's no need for you to doubt yourself. This is just another challenge that you will overcome to demonstrate your resilience." Naruto whispered into Noel's ear. She couldn't help but shudder slightly, as she felt the warmth of his breath in her ear. Her body appeared to ease upon hearing Naruto's words. She felt a sense of accomplishment after hearing Naruto. She felt a newfound sense of invigoration, as if all barriers had been lifted. She quickly regained her focus and took a few steps forward. Noticing her air of professionalism, the other person couldn't help but wonder what Naruto was up to. She extended her hands, one above the other, with precision and poise. With her book open, she said, "Water creation magic. Sea Dragon's Cradle." A magnificent sphere of swirling water materialized beneath her, its smooth surface glistening with a captivating ring of liquid. The water expanded, completely covering every individual. The water sphere proceeded forward and submerged beneath the surface. Everything was going well until Gray underwent a significant transformation into a much larger shape. Gray was dominating the others, but Naruto anticipated this and effortlessly rose to the highest point of the dome. Lost in deep contemplation, Naruto pondered significant matters. I wonder what would happen if Noel and I were to engage in a battle, with her utilizing water magic, Naruto pondered, before his train of thought was abruptly halted by the startled cries of his fellow squad members. He soon discovered that they had entered a highly mystical area. It wasn't particularly noteworthy. Not much of significance. He was greatly annoyed by the loud screams of his squad. If one is constantly screaming, it becomes challenging for Noel to maintain focus and guide us through. I wouldn't be surprised if you all perished at this very moment, Naruto said, commanding everyone silence to allow Noel to concentrate. What was the intention behind his use of "you all"? Does he believe he could endure if Noel's magic were to falter? After successfully navigating through the powerful magic region, they found themselves greeted by tranquil waters. They observed various species of fish and other fascinating creatures. Naruto hadn't encountered a few of them before. He had previously seen them in the anime, but witnessing them up close was truly remarkable. They also witnessed a fish adorned with mana. Charmy and Gray were already prepared with their forks, eagerly anticipating the taste. Naruto wouldn't admit it, but he was thinking the same thing. They observed a barrier with numerous whirlpools. Naruto detected the formidable force emanating from the barrier. It was powerful enough to deter ordinary individuals, but Naruto was far from ordinary. Once more, Naruto found himself lost in thought. Does Vanessa use thread magic? Can she not design clothing? I wonder if I could convince her to create garments for me using materials from Earth. Once more, Naruto's train of thought was disrupted by his fellow squad members. They arrived at the ocean floor and in the distance, they spotted an object. However, prior to anything else, Naruto approached Noel. "You did a great job," Naruto complimented, gently patting her head. She blushed as she received unexpected compliments. One might assume she had grown accustomed to it, but receiving a head pat and praise from Naruto was still quite an accomplishment. The underwater temple consisted of multiple stone structures arranged in tiers. The city was brightly lit by an unidentified source. Amidst an unfamiliar light source, the structures exhibited a sandy hue. Captain Yami then instructed Charmy to create a cotton cloud so they could travel to the city. Naruto observed Charmy indulging in a snack, causing his stomach to emit a subtle rumble. Charmy kindly offered some to Naruto, noticing his gaze. Naturally, that would be insufficient given his voracious appetite. However, he decided to wait for some time. Exiting the soft cloud, the entire team encountered a group of individuals. The people respected them for their lack of visitors. Naruto witnessed a variety of intriguing sights. Just like the flowers and plants, they all had their own unique qualities that set them apart from those found on the surface. He was captivated by the wonders beneath the surface. Once the group obtained the necessary information about the high priest's whereabouts, they proceeded to ascend the stairs and make their way into the temple. "Please share your experiences when you return," a person in a blue shirt stated. "That is, if you return," a woman in a red shirt remarked as the doors closed. While strolling, they stumbled upon the well-organized area. They noticed someone nearby, but their focus quickly shifted to the enormous fish. Naruto maintained a composed stance, arms crossed. Following the assault by Luck, Magna, and Gauche, the fish was swiftly defeated. Then the elderly gentleman spoke and claimed it was his special ability. Many were taken aback by its impressive strength, primarily focused on unraveling the mystery behind his magical abilities. The elderly gentleman displayed signs of aging on his face. Thin, long eyebrows, and a mustache that extends outwards. He possesses a lengthy beard that extends to his waist and flowing hair that seems to defy gravity. He donned an impressive coat with a generously sized collar and sleek black trim. It became apparent that Gifso was well aware of their desires, which is why they had chosen to come here. He then offered to give it to them if they agreed to play a game. Yes, they accepted. Upon accepting it, Yami's grin grew wider, catching Naruto's attention. Then Gifso announced that they would be hosting a battle royale. He contacted the expert team, and they arrived dressed in professional white coats and fish masks. "Very well then. Let the competition commence," Gifso exclaimed as water suddenly emerged from beneath the ground, propelling them forcefully through a powerful stream. Ultimately, they were all divided and found themselves in a cave. Naruto began to smile, but soon his smile transformed into a sinister grin. He eagerly anticipated his rematch with Vetto. However, he understood the importance of exercising patience until certain matters were resolved. Then Gifso delivered a speech detailing the events and location. He provided a clear explanation of the game's rules. Once the rules were explained, Naruto encountered an individual wearing a hammerhead shark mask. "You appear to be quite intriguing. A voice emerged from behind the mask. "Let's see if you can captivate me for a while," Naruto said, assuming his new stance. With his arm extended to the right of him, he maintained a proper hand position with his wrist bent and fingertips pointing downwards. His right arm is held just above his head, with his wrist bent and fingertips pointing down. Stay tuned for more. And that's a wrap for now. Thank you so much for tuning into this incredible video. If you absolutely loved it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for even more amazing content coming your way.